Hey guys, what's up? My name is Justin and I go by Coach Commerce here on YouTube. And I'm a full-time eBay reseller. What that means is I make a full-time living buying things and then flipping them for profit on eBay. And my passion here on YouTube is teaching other people how to do what I do. And one of the ways that I make a full-time living on eBay is by selling postcards. Now that probably is the reason why you've clicked on this video. You're probably wondering, how do I make profit selling postcards online? Well, I'm here to tell you it's actually a lot easier than you would think. And I make thousands of dollars every year selling these little cards. Now, if you don't know anything about postcards, you're probably wondering, how can you make money selling little pieces of paper? Actually, postcards are extremely collectible. Believe it or not, back a long time ago, back before there was computers or social media, this is how people communicated. They sent letters to friends and family in the mail, and whenever they went on trips or vacations, they'd pick up a postcard, write what they were doing, and mail it to their family. So it was social media before social media existed. And people collected them. People had collections from all over the world, and nowadays people still collect them. Many historians that are wanting to look and see, what their town looked like a long time ago will collect postcards, and other people will, buy them and decorate with them around their house or collect them for themselves. So they're still extremely collectible, and people do buy them up like crazy on eBay. So in this video, I'm going to teach you my process that I use to sell hundreds, if not thousands of postcards every year. Whether you've been selling on eBay for some time, or if you've never sold on eBay before, you can master this technique and start making money right away. So let's jump right in. Now, the first thing most people probably are thinking is, how do I find postcards? I don't own postcards myself. Where do I get them to then again resell them? And the place that I always recommend people go to is straight to eBay. Now you might be thinking, how can I buy things on eBay and then resell them on eBay and make profit, right? Well, it's possible. Most people on eBay that are selling postcards are selling them in bulk. They're not taking the time to list them one by one, and they're not selling them individually like I do. They're selling off their grandpa or grandma's old collection, or maybe they're collectors themselves and they buy in bulk and they're only interested in a specific city or a specific geographical area. And you can go in, buy the entire collection, and then turn around and sell them individually one at a time. So when I'm looking for lots of postcards to sell on eBay, the main thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for quantity. I'll buy postcards in amounts of 500 all the way up to tens of thousands of postcards at a time. Now, the first thing I look for when I'm buying lots or bulk quantities of postcards is I go and look and see if they're actually a postcard dealer, kind of like me. When I'm selling postcards, I'm obviously going to take the best ones and I'm going to just dump the rest. You don't want to buy postcards from a vendor because you want to have the opportunity to maximize your profits. So try to look for people that are just selling maybe a one-off collection of a bunch of postcards. And the way you can do that is by going and looking at a particular seller and looking at all of the other similar items that they're selling. If they're selling a wide variety of items, maybe they're using eBay kind of as their home garage sale, those are the ones to look for, because a lot of times you can stumble upon really great collections that can turn into a lot of money when you resell these postcards individually. Now, when you buy postcards online, obviously with eBay, you can buy them at auction or you can buy them as buy it now. I like to try to pick them up at auction because typically you can get good deals. But the one big thing you want to do when you're bidding on an auction is don't get wrapped up in the auction, right? Just like any auction, even an auction person, you don't want to get caught up in the hype because then you can end up overpaying for something. And when you're selling postcards, you're making all of your money on the buy and not the sell. And really, it's that way with anything that you're buying to resell on eBay. So what I typically look for is I try to average about 5 to 10 cents that I invest in each postcard. So if I'm buying a lot of 100 postcards to resell, I'm looking to spend about $10 or so. If I'm trying to buy 1,000 postcards, I try to keep my purchase price in the range of 100 to 150 bucks. And that's doable. It can take some time and a little bit of skill to perfect that process, especially learning how to look and what to buy. But it really isn't that hard. Then the more you do it, the better you get at it. And then, of course, the better you get, the more money you can make selling these. Okay, so now you've committed and you've decided to buy an entire lot of postcards and you've got a big stack of postcards that you're ready to try to start selling on eBay, right? Where do you begin? What do you do next? Well, just like any eBay listing is, you're going to sell them one at a time. That's how you're going to make your profit, is you're selling these all individually. And what I like to do is I like to take one postcard at a time and literally go through and list it exactly like that. Now, when I started selling postcards on eBay, I decided to take my cell phone and take pictures manually. But what I found as I was doing that was it was a great way to list, but it took time, actually a lot more time than I wanted. So the way that I've maximized my profits is I went ahead and invested in a photo scanner. Now, the type of photo scanner that you want to invest in is you want to look for a high output, high resolution photo scanner. The one that I invested in, I'll show you here in a minute, and I'll also drop a link down in the description of this video as well if you want to invest in a similar scanner like I've bought. But really, any good quality photo scanner is going to work. Big thing, like I said, you want to look for is you want to look for something that can put out a lot of images in a minute, and you also want it to be able to capture front and back of the postcard, because those pictures that it scans are what you're going to use to upload to your eBay listing. Okay, so the photo scanner that I use is this Epson ES400 document scanner. It runs for about $300 on Amazon, which I know can sound a little bit steep, but if you're selling postcards regularly, it's going to pay for itself in no time flat, because this thing is super efficient, super quick, and it's going to speed up your profits that you're going to make when selling postcards on eBay. Okay, when you're ready to scan your postcards, you're going to go ahead and drop them into the document feeder, and you're going to hit the scan button. And after you hit the scan button, they're going to go ahead and drop all of the images over to your computer, where they'll be ready to upload over on eBay. Once you've gone ahead and you've scanned your postcards in your scanner and you're ready to list them on eBay, this is where all of your work goes into action. The images you should have on your computer or an external hard drive, you're going to go ahead now and begin to list them. Now, what I like to do when listing postcards is you're going to use your title to sell the postcard. Think of your eBay listing title as your search engine optimization go-to function. It's going to be how people find your postcard. So basically what I mean by that is give your title a really good description of what the postcard is. For example, this one right here, it's a postcard of a train. I'm going to tell what the name of the train is. I'm going to tell where this train is located. And I'm going to say what city it's in, what location it's in, what state it's in. All of the information that you would find here on the back of the postcard is going to be what I want to put in the title. Because if you think about it, that's what people are looking for, right? If a person in Maine wants a postcard of a train in their town, they're going to search for it on Google, and then your listing is going to pop up because all of those keywords are now in your title. So you have 80 characters in your eBay title, and use all of them to describe this postcard as accurately as you can using good concrete nouns. Stay away from other adjectives and things like that. Mainly only stick to the details and the facts of what each postcard represents in the image. Now, after you've come up with a really good title for your postcard, go ahead and copy it, and then go ahead and directly paste it down into the description field of what that postcard says. There's no need really to give any detailed description of the postcard. People are going to know what postcard it is just basically by the images that you uploaded from your scan. They're going to be able to tell the condition of the postcard, if there's any defects like any bends or folds, directly from looking at the photograph that you uploaded in your scan. So the really cool thing is you don't really need to add a description. Your title is going to be sufficient. So you can save a lot of time not having to give any more details in your description field. Now, even though you don't need to give a really detailed description of the postcard in the description field, I would encourage you to go up to the item specifics and go ahead and select what type of postcard you are listing. Now, there are different postcard types, and obviously the more that you handle them, the more you're going to learn them, but they're really pretty easy to be able to identify. When you click that drop-down menu that shows what type of postcard it is, you're going to see options like chrome, you're going to see divided back postcards, you're going to see undivided back, you'll see some that are titled white border, you're going to see a brand or a type called linen, but basically you're going to be able to identify those pretty easily, because not only does it tell you what type it is, but beside the type on eBay in the items description field, it's also going to give you a date. Now, the cool thing about postcards is if they were already filled out, maybe somebody had it before and they mailed it already, they've gone ahead and written the postcard and mailed it in the past, so it's going to have a post stamp on it, which is going to give you the date that it was mailed on. Now, if you run into a postcard that's blank like this one, and you don't know how to identify it, kind of use your best judgment, right? If it looks newer, it's probably going to be chrome. But if not, you can go ahead and if it's an older postcard, try to use your best judgment and describe it how the category or the era of what you think that postcard would fit. Now finally, after you've gone ahead and you've given your postcard a title, you've uploaded your photos, and you've given it a description, the only thing left you really have to do is price your postcard. Now, I don't really run my postcards at auction. I've sold enough of them to know kind of what they're worth, and I can go ahead and list it as buy it now, so whenever they sell, I've made my money right then and there. I don't have to wait for the auction to end. I don't fool with those. I list everything at buy it now, and typically most of my postcards I list right around anywhere from the $6 to $10 range. Now, $6 to $10 may not be a huge windfall when you sell one postcard, but as I'm sure you're thinking, when you're listing a lot of these, you're going to make a lot of money because they're pretty cheap to ship. All you need is a postage stamp. Slap a postage stamp on, put it in an envelope, and then boom, 50 cents for a forever stamp or 55 cents, and everything else is profit after you've already paid for your postcards. Now, if you're using a high document image scanner, I can typically sit down with a thumb drive and I can list anywhere from 30 to 75 postcards in an hour. You can really crank these things out, and if you're listing them from anywhere from $5 to $10, you can add the math up. It's going to really compound quickly. So in an hour, I can list anywhere from $300 to $500 worth of postcards. Okay, so now you're done listing some postcards and one of them sells. Great, but what do, right? Well, don't worry, because I'm going to show you now my process and how I ship postcards, and it's actually just as simple. The first thing you want to do is you want to take your postcard that's sold, and what I like to do is I like to purchase these blank, kind of clear postcard protectors. They might be a little hard to see, but basically what that does is you're going to take your postcard and you're going to drop it right down into the sleeve. And that sleeve gives it a little bit of protection, and not only that, it makes it look even more professional for your buyer when they open the package. Now, after you've gone ahead and you've put it in a clear plastic sleeve, you're going to go ahead and put it into your mailing envelope. I purchase and sell and ship my postcards with these mailing envelopes. They're a little bit more durable than a standard envelope. They're kind of reinforced cardboard. And basically what this is good for is it protects the postcard. When these postcards are shipped, if you put it in a regular envelope, these envelopes go through feeders at the post office, and they can get mangled and kind of bent up and damaged if you're shipping them in a regular envelope. So these mailers are really great, and they're pretty cost efficient too. I typically buy them from anywhere from 5 to 10 cents a piece, depending on the brand. But these never really get mangled, and serious postcard collectors really appreciate these being sent that way when you mail them to them, because they're wanting to add them into their postcard albums or their postcard collections, and they don't want them damaged in the mail. So by sending them in a mailer, you can prevent getting any unwanted returns or having to refund your buyers when they get damaged. So you're going to go ahead and drop it into your envelope, and then from here, basically you're going to go ahead and address your envelope. Now you can handwrite your mailer address on here if you would like, or you can do what I do and go ahead and slap on a printer label onto the exterior of the envelope. Now the printer labels that I use are these Avery brand printer labels. I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description as well with the exact type that I use, but they're really cheap. You don't have to even use the Avery brand. There are knockoff brands you can use that are cheaper, but basically you'll print it on your home printer and just slap that label right there onto your postcard mailer. So you're going to mail it like that. Now, when you mail your postcards, you want to make sure that you mark them as shipped on eBay, because if you're mailing them with this method, they don't have tracking. So you want to go ahead and mark it shipped so you don't get any shipping defects on your eBay account. And I know you're probably thinking, but there's no tracking. What if it gets lost, or what if the person claims they never received it and I've got to refund them? Don't worry. Most people that collect postcards are generally honest people. I've sold thousands of postcards over the years, and I can honestly say I've never had somebody that's claimed that they've not gotten a postcard and lied about it. And in fact, I've never even really had many get lost. In all of my years of selling, I probably only had the post office genuinely lose probably less than 5 out of the thousands upon thousands that I've shipped. And typically, even the ones that get lost end up making their way back to my address as, return to sender. So pretty cool. Now, if you are a seller that is worried about tracking and maybe you have a buyer that even wants tracking on their postcard so they make sure that it's going to get to them and they know when it's going to arrive, you can add tracking to your eBay listing. First class mail is really cheap. Typically, anywhere in the country, it's going to be about an average of $3, so you can add that cost into the sale of the postcard. Or eBay just recently updated their shipping methods for sports cards and postcards, and they have offered an additional service that I believe only costs $1 for tracking, with a barcode on these postcards. So that's another option you can do if you want to add tracking to your postcards. And you can of course print those directly from your eBay account as well and attach the label right on here to the envelope. Now, once you've addressed your postcard to be sent out in the mail, that's really all there is to it. You can either schedule a pickup and have your mailman come and pick it up. You can throw it in your mailbox and throw the flag up, or you can even drop it off at the post office. But once it's mailed and it gets to your buyer, all of the money that you've earned is yours to keep. And congratulations on selling a postcard. Now, I've walked you through all the steps, and you too can go ahead and follow this process. But before I leave you, I want to give you guys a couple of tips that really helped me take my postcard business to the next level. Now, like I said, the secret sauce to making lots of money with selling postcards on eBay is volume. I list anywhere from 30 to 75 postcards in an hour. And that's all because I only have to upload 2 photos and I can keep my description field short. Now, you may be doing the math in your head. If you're listing, on average 50 an hour, if even at the slower end, if I'm being modest, and you're selling them from anywhere from $5 to $10, you're going to be making about $250 to $500 if you're able to get your volume up high enough, each day, which is really cool. Now, I have in my eBay store about 10,000 postcards currently active, and I'm considered a small postcard seller. I've only been doing this for, a little under a year. But there are bigger postcard sellers out there, and they specialize in just selling postcards. A couple of my competitors that I follow, they literally have up hundreds of thousands of postcards. They've been doing it for years, for decades, strictly selling postcards. And what's crazy is if you look at their solds, they're selling hundreds of postcards a day and actually making hundreds of thousands of dollars only selling postcards on eBay. If you scale your eBay store up with postcards that high, the big thing that you want to do to set yourself up for success is you want to have a really good inventory system. Now, obviously, if you've got thousands upon thousands, maybe 10,000s of postcards in your store, you're going to want to know how to find them when they sell, right? Well, that's where a good inventory system comes into play. What I like to do is I like to put my postcards in shoe boxes, ones with good lids on the top. You can typically pick these up in any convenience store like Walmart or Target or even on Amazon. I'll drop another link down below if you want to use this exact brand that I use. But they fit in here really, really well. And I, of course, label my box with a letter. So when I use a SKU system with my listing, I can then go in and kind of card catalog my postcards like you would see at an old school library. If you look, I go ahead and about every 25 to 50 postcards, I put an index card with a number up. So I can fit about, 900 to 1,000 postcards in one box. So these are also great because right here I've got 1,000 listings in my hand. You can get a lot of dollars in one small space. They don't take up much room. Literally, you can have 10 to 20 boxes of these and have tens of thousands of listings. So this is a really great way to keep organized. It's a great way to find them. Whenever they sell, I literally just flip through, find where they're at, and pull them. If you do not know how to use a SKU system or inventory system with your eBay store, I will drop a link right here in the video as well to another video that I made already that kind of explains how I use a SKU system with my eBay store as well. So guys, that's really all there is to selling postcards on eBay. Like I said, it really is a simple process. I know this video was a little bit longer, and if you've watched it to the end and you still have comments, feel free to ask me down below. My channel is pretty small, and one good thing about having a small channel is I'm able to get in contact with anybody that has any questions. So drop me a comment down below, and I'll try to get back to you within a day or so. If you like this video, please help support my channel by giving it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel for other great eBay tips and tricks to help you become a better eBay seller as well. Until next time, Have a great day and happy selling on eBay. Bye, everyone.